14th meeting of the Township Supervisors will now begin. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the meeting is being recorded. Executive session was held on January 29th from 8:05 in the morning to 8:40 for litigation relating to Senate resources questioning the source water protection ordinance. Everybody had a chance to look at the bills. Are there any questions on the bills?
Minutes.
Okay, any questions on the minutes? They're to be approved as stated then.
I'll make a motion to
Make a
approve.
motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the reorganization
I'll
meeting.
second the motion.
And I'll make a motion for the regular meeting of January 4th, 2016.
January 29th?
January 4th.
Okay, reorganizational. I'll second the motion. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to approval of the minutes from the previous meeting.
Yes, good.
Get ahead of myself here. Yeah, there is an extra one. I see that, this true. Okay, visitors' comments. Start in the front row there. Yeah, Holly. Go ahead.
I would ask that you add under old business, the Kersey Run feasibility study, and I ask that you keep it on there till it's done. I'd like to have an update every month on it. And if you would also add under old business, the Joe Anderson water problem, I'd like to know where that's at. When you get to correspondence, I have a question, and the bills, I have a question. I'll wait till later.
Okay, as far as Kersey Run feasibility study, you need to explain yourself a little bit more there. I mean, you want to have a, I understand you want to study on it, but are you suggesting that we hire an engineering firm to study it, Christine?
I'm not suggesting anything. You are having
Right.
a feasibility study done. I would like to just keep abreast of it.
Okay.
So I'd like an update every month
I
on
mean,
what's going on.
I guess to get on the same page here, we do have DEP looking at it, possibly in the near future give us some answers or their ideas on it at least. But as far as getting an engineering firm to do a feasibility study, we can't afford that.
I made no
Okay.
suggestions.
As long as we're on the
to
same
that.
page, that's all.
That was, and it was brought up a couple months back that the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy would
Yes.
conduct a
Right.
study if they can find, if they can find the funding. They're looking for the funding to conduct the study. So
Okay.
that's where that's at. And as of yet, I haven't heard anything back from them on that.
I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page with this.
Just an update, that's all I
Okay.
ask.
Anything else?
That's, we're right where we were before.
On this issue, we did meet with Jody Foster, Fritz Slecker from Gobbler's office.
Right.
And actually, we met, was it 3 weeks ago at Gobbler's? We did meet here on
About a week later.
a week later. We have a meeting scheduled for the 25th, which is next Thursday at the fire hall. And we have, as far as I know, the commissioners, the supervisors, DEP, Fish Commission, Gobbler's office, Thompson's office, Scarnati's office. That's why we moved it up there. So we're looking at 25, 30 people. And actually there was Julie, she was from the state out of Erie's office, Julie, I can't remember.
Yeah, Smolsky.
Smolsky. And she was here too, and we're gonna do an on-site thing starting, which we did, when we met 2 weeks ago. We did a couple, we went top of the intake, number 2 above Big Hole. We looked at the bridge. We went down behind the senior center. We went behind the log cabin, Joanne Hunton's. We were in there and looked at all the damage. And actually, Mark Petrini was here, and he took them up in 42, where a lot of the runoff was coming in from the old mines, in which Ben Coughlin was here too. So we are, I'm going to say, trying to get more organizations involved and more departments to do this. And the big thing is the money, and which I had, if everybody, 2 weeks ago, I think in the Sunday paper, if you read Jefferson County and Sykesville, they did dredging and whatever, they did 6,000 and some feet over a mile. And when I asked Jody, said a lot of that was Act 13 money from Jefferson County was used. And till we, like I said, we meet next Wednesday or next Thursday, you know, hopefully we can get some funding from the state involved here. And actually, Dean Baker, he's the one we were on speakerphone with.
From the Knox, was it Knox?
Knox, yeah. He's the one doing the reclamation for the area and all that. He's supposed to be there too with so many people too, so.
Just don't, don't forget behind our property
Yeah.
and John Bryson property,
Yeah.
make sure you look
Yeah.
right there.
We like, you know, unless we get a couple feet of snow, we plan on doing a lot of, you know,
Walking around,
walking
looking
through
over.
there and showing them every problem. And especially the new bridge near your house too, all that, so.
Well, I appreciate that
Yeah,
report.
I mean,
Thank you.
it's,
We'll,
hopefully, I think, at first, like I said, we were at Gobbler's office that Friday, and they were kind of, to me, it looked like they were just wanted to keep it within the county. But we, you know, we said, well, you know, let's get more people involved in it for the whole, you know, state involved with all the other legislators and everything, so.
I'm glad you involved the commissioners too, because there was an
Yeah.
article in the Courier about a month or so ago that they wanted to address this flooding
Yeah.
problem.
and that way we may have a better chance of getting some funding.
Yeah. Hopefully it keeps progressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Christine?
Not to get to old business, I
Okay,
wanted that Anderson update.
okay. And you? Bob?
I have something on correspondence, but where do we get there?
Yes, let's ready to get there. Dave? Nothing, Keith? Okay, we'll move on to approval bills.
That health insurance, is that 1 month, and how many is that, how many persons?
No, this whole thing, Christine, is 2 months and real close to it because we didn't have a meeting. Our last meeting was 4th of January. So all this you're looking at here is what, roughly 2 months right
Well, we'll get credit for
now? For
2
now.
people that'll come off for 2 months, so it'll be a lot less next time. You have to pay it up front, then they give you the credit,
But I mean, as far as the bills overall, it's
2 months.
2 months.
What was the electrical parts from Lowe's for $662? Probably about up to 10% down from the top on.
They did some wiring in the lower garage. There was only one outlet down there, I believe. They said they did some wiring there, and then they ran a new outlet out here to plug in the loader instead of running the extension cord out the door because the extension cord keeps getting smashed by the door. So they put some outlets in, and they had to run the wire in the whole bit.
Imagine they put in CIs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like a lot of money for a couple outlets, that's all I'm saying.
No, it was outlets, and it was like the wiring and everything that he needed to do the job. I don't know what all he needed to do the job. Orland did it, and he's
I mean,
building for a long time. He's up to code.
Anybody else, any questions?
the other thing too, I mean, you know, you have Schlader, Shadler, Yesco, and Hyde Electric. I mean, to make material list and pass it over. I'll give you a quote.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I make a motion to approve the bills in the amount of $76,660.01.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, treasurer's report.
General fund checking, balance as of 1/4/16 is $42,411.09. Balance as of 2/18/16 is $34,691.57. State fund balance as of 1/4/16 was $49,390.27. Balance as of 2/18/16 is $26,402.49. Liquid balance is $33,248. Capital reserve account, $28,173. State fund CD, $40,054. General fund CD, $82,649. And the total deposits for the month was $68,940.49.
Any questions on the treasurer's report? On the correspondence,
1 Township Water Authority meeting minutes, 2 Township Sewer Authority meeting minutes, 3 County Commissioners meeting minutes, 4 Township Fire Department 2015 fire report and expenditure report, 5 Township Auditors 2015 audit and financial report, 6 PSATS news bulletin.
Okay, you deferred me to correspondence. I had submitted a letter here regarding the requirements of the Open Records Act and a court decision for when you going to executive session, you have to announce with specificity the reason for the executive session. And it stemmed from an event at the Water Authority meeting. First of all, I don't see my letter here. Was that an oversight, or why isn't it on the correspondence?
you talking about the letter I have in my hand? Did
Well,
you
I
sign
can't-
later?
Can't see what you have in your hand, but it's dated February the 8th, 2016.
That's the one I'm looking at here.
Okay, why wasn't that included in correspondence?
I don't know why it wasn't in correspondence, but we all have a copy of it.
Okay. Debbie, was that an oversight? It wasn't in the correspondence? I think it's a pretty simple question, isn't it?
Well, I'm not gonna be drilling drill out. We have a copy of it in our hands.
Well, I mean, you know, everybody else here, at least I assume, got listed in correspondence. It appears to me somebody made a decision not to list it. And I think it's a very important matter.
Well, then let's look it
First of
over,
all-
let's look it over then, rather than worry about whether it's in correspondence.
Well,
you
it
have
should
it
be
since
for
February
correspondence.
I agree.
So you agree with
Yes.
Bob, it should be listed in correspondence?
So why wasn't it? Does anybody have an explanation?
I don't know what it was. You wanna look it over, or we're gonna spend all night worrying why it's not in
Well,
correspondence?
I think that's the first question to be addressed. Did everybody get it? Somebody made
I have
a,
a copy of it, you.
We have a copy of it.
somebody made a decision not to put it in there. Okay, secondly, you're just reading it now, Victor, right?
No, I read it when I got in here about 6 o'clock.
Okay. I mean, you know, it's been here since February the 8th. I would hope you'd stop in once a week and pick up the mail. The next matter is what the court said. I mean, when you go into executive session, you have to announce with specificity the reason. And I would think the three of you, perhaps Rick can be excused, elected officials, for as long as you've served, you've reviewed this publication that's cited from open meetings and the Sunshine Act. And it's, you know, you bring this up with the Water Authority, it's like it doesn't even exist. And I think it'd be prudent for the board to get this publication, get it out to the authorities, read it yourself, and if necessary, hold a session what the obligation of these boards are under the Sunshine Act, because it was obviously not fulfilled at the Water Authority meeting. Does anybody disagree with my statement?
I was obviously on the Water Authority board, and I said at the time that I would correct it at the next monthly meeting if there was an issue. I have a copy of the Sunshine Act. it doesn't refer to that case in my copy of the Sunshine Act. So now that you brought it to my light, to light for me, I will correct it at the meeting. So, and again, as I read through your letter compared to my copy of the Sunshine Act, you paraphrased a little bit and put it into your own words, so I will
Well,
bring my copy and we will discuss it at the Water
this
Authority meeting
isn't for
because
the
this is Water
Sunshine
Authority.
Act. This is a publication or a digest of the Sunshine Act.
Okay, we don't have that publication or that digest. of the
It's
Sunshine.
available online. You just
Okay.
go out and get it.
Okay.
There's nothing to get it. And I think it's very important, like I said, that all the boards get a copy for each member and understand what the requirements are by law. So I would appreciate if the Board of Supervisors would take the initiative to do that.
Get online and get.
Get online, get it, and get these boards up to speed as well as yourself.
Okay, well, we'll get online and get it. I mean, I really can't
I can
speak
send
for
you
the
the
others.
PDF file.
What's that?
If you have a problem, let me know and I'll send you the file for it because you download it.
All right.
Was there any problem with the audit?
I don't believe
No.
so. No.
We got a letter from the auditor saying everything was accurate.
Okay, we're gonna move on to road maintenance equipment report. From what I can see, it looks pretty simple, flagship township roads.
How come it's got a fuel line on the week of the 11th for the loader? Loader repairs on the 18th, loader repairs, fuel line again on the 25th, loader repairs on the 1st.
Three different dates. Three.
All right here. Right here, where you guys give it to us.
Oh, that's, we write that down. That's the work being scheduled for the week. It just took that long to get at it because of the weather. It was only repaired one time. We just added it to the list again the following week if it hadn't got done because they were out plowing and
Yeah,
working
it's-
on the roads, so they didn't have a
it's done
chance to change the fuel line, that's all.
It carried over into the next week.
Yeah, if something doesn't get done, we just carry it into the next week, that's all. Okay.
Anything else?
Are we under maintenance?
We're under number 7, road maintenance.
Road maintenance, how about equipment maintenance?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Some of this stuff, and I brought it to the other two supervisors. When the stuff goes to Ingram's, you know, for like the crew cab number 5 truck pickup, state inspection, the oil change lube was done there. I think that should be done in-house. And if you go back when they worked on the loader, they changed fluids and oil filter on the loader here, but I feel our guys should be able to change oil in the trucks here too.
Well, as you can see, most of what they've done here has been done in-house. They try to do
Yeah.
everything they
But
can, but
I'm
they're still
saying-
doing their regular job in
Right.
the meantime, so.
I'm looking, you know, to change oil. If they can change oil in a loader or the backhoe, they should be able to change oil in the trucks.
I'm sure they can,
Yeah,
but,
but-
you know, like, again, if they're out there plowing snow and that truck's up there getting inspections, just get the oil changed, what is it, $40? You know what I mean? It's, and that
adds
includes the
up.
filter and the oil, so.
Be more than that.
Well, I'm just saying, it's not a large amount of money. For what they're doing,
I
for what
mean-
they're doing in-house already, is my, you know, what they can get done here is fine, but what they can't get done here needs to be done while they're doing their regular job. That's my opinion of it.
Yeah.
We'll,
Seems like an awful lot of money in the bills here, Jeremy, $1,270.
we'll continue to look at it.
What?
You know, you've got an inner bill here for a hair dryer and a wheel bearing, there's inspection and service, $1,270.
Okay.
An air dryer's $139, 2 bolts and 2 hair lines.
Okay.
All
I mean,
right,
he sends the bill, it's there, you can get a copy of it if you have a question about it.
Well, I just asked him.
okay, we're gonna move on to old business. Okay, the source water protection ordinance, it's kind of still in limbo. We haven't heard, we talked to Mark about it.
He hasn't gotten back to us since that.
Since we
We
spoke
talked
with
to
him
him
on
on
the
the 29th.
29th, okay.
Now, you just advertised for that, right?
Right, we advertised it.
And that's where it stands. You
Right.
didn't actually pass it yet.
No,
No.
no, that's why it's still on there. Once Seneca came with all these legal questions, it kind of brought us to a standstill again.
Move on to the next one, sewer authority board vacancy.
We don't have-
No.
nobody-
No.
Okay, water authority board vacancy.
Just one.
We still have a name in there, right? Well, I make a motion, just like I did last meeting, we're gonna get these boards filled up. I'll make a motion, put Keith Lilly on the board.
Do I have a second? Looks like we're down for lack of a second. Dangerous structures, you met with them today, right, or talked to
They,
Richard Brown?
They postponed the hearing until May the 2nd because he asked for more time. He's going to tear down Peach and make a decision on River Road, is what he said. So it's postponed till May the 2nd at 10 a.m. Given that if he has it done by then at that point in time, we're done with the magistrate, we can just cancel it. But if he hasn't moved on it by then that's when the hearing will be.
Did he discuss any other ones, like maybe the one in Burndale, perhaps?
He talked to the one in Burndale, she pled guilty but never paid a fine or anything, so there's a warrant out for her. And so that will be resolved whenever they catch up with her.
That's the
and-
Kennedy Street, right?
Yeah.
That's Kennedy Street, yeah, the only one there. So, yeah, and the other two already have permits to tear down, so that's where we're at.
All right, moving on to new business. Campground fee, we did establish a campground fee. I believe it was, what, $125?
We have to vote on that.
Yeah. We gotta vote on a resolution for that here tonight. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2016-1, which pertains to the campground fees.
I'll second that motion.
What are they?
Adopt the annual fee of
$125,
For what?
Annual fee.
annual fee.
How about a transfer? How about a renewal? How about a
It'll be
renewal?
yearly, just like the
Yearly.
junkyard.
Just like the junkyard ordinance, Paul, it's annual, $125 a year.
So that's regardless whether it's renewal?
$125 a year.
It's an annual fee, yes.
Annual fee.
Okay.
Any other questions on it?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Credit card, maybe you can tell me a little bit about that one, Jeff.
Let me get one to say.
Right. Has he got it?
No.
We have.
Oh, it's still going through the bank up there. Okay.
Make a motion on
All right, dust oil bid.
We need to make a motion for Sid. What is the limit on the credit card?
$1,000.
It's $1,000 credit card for Sid.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we, and it's through
that.
First call.
Right, same as the rest of ours, to use for purchases in the garage and for the
Because he was
convention.
using Debbie's.
He's using Debbie's when they make
Everybody
purchases,
else,
and
yeah.
when they go to the convention to check,
Not
and he
an
had to
hour.
take Debbie's last year as well, which is not,
I'll make a motion that we get credit, or Sid's own credit card through First Commonwealth with $1,000 limit on it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that's a little bit. They have the one.
Well, this is put it out there.
I'll make bids.
We're going out to bid.
Okay, we're going out to bid for 20,000 gallons, more or less,
Street.
V3 demolition for township roads is needed. Must be the owner soon, okay. I'll make a motion to put this Dustable bid out for 20,000 gallon V3.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're gonna do that on the dumpster.
Yeah, let's do that.
Motion
Okay, summer dumpster, 40 cubic yard trash dumpster to be removed upon demand located at the township building. Again, must be in a sealed envelope. I'll make a motion to put the dumpster out for bid.
for- Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna move on to this paving project.
Project. I want me to, since I talked to Darren,
Yeah,
bring
go
us up
ahead.
to speed.
Lay it on us.
I mean, after we went back out and looked at it that Friday that he came up, he suggested possibly doing a 2-inch overlay over the entire road and then the top coat. Because they're not only what we saw in the summertime, but now that it's wintertime, you can see it all.
Worse,
You
yeah.
know, there's really not a lot there. So that's that new estimate that he gave. So for Gardner Hill alone, it's $443,000. And if you add in Redwood, Plum, Peach, Cleveland, the ones we had, the parts we had to look at there, you see the grand total, $552,000.
I sure do.
So that, I mean, those are everything that needs paved, and that's the grand total on it. Like I said, Gardner Hill alone is still $443,000. He gave me information on that PIB loan that Chevy printed off, and
1.6% interest.
that's what it was this year, and they expect it to be next year, 1.6% interest.
That's probably gonna push it down the road another year.
It takes 6 to 8 months to complete a PIB loan, so yeah, it wouldn't happen this year, it'd be the following. We have to decide if we want to do partial, if we want to do all of those roads. You can go out to 10 years on that PIB loan. Really, I wanted to get it on the agenda so that we're talking about it. I'm not looking for a decision tonight, I just wanted to get that information in front of you.
Just to bring it out. Anybody have any input on it, Lisa?
Yeah, so, I mean, and you guys are aware of what it is. It's Gardner Hill from 255 all the way to the township line. 3,300 feet on the other side of the township line on Cleveland Street, coming down from the township line down 3,300 feet. And then we had them also price out Plum Street, Peach Street, and Redwood just from 555 to the bridge, where it's pretty tore up in there. But everything that we have them price out, $552,000. Gardner Hill alone, $443,000, and that doesn't include the 3,300 feet on the Cleveland Street side.
Wow.
So that was still, and doing the 2-inch overlay over the whole thing was still cheaper than doing the base repairs, the spot patching that he originally quoted. So it came in slightly cheaper, but.
Must have been a lot of spot.
And then again, he said these are probably on the high side. He always tries to estimate on the high side. The bigger the project you go out for, the better price you get. But I mean, that's where we're at with it right now. I think we ought to crunch some numbers on it and revisit it next meeting.
Continue to look at it,
what we
yes.
decide.
Is it possible we could go another year, you think?
Yeah, I mean, last year after the bad winter we had, it really chunked up and came apart. But we put $5,000-6,000 worth of patch in there and did a little tar and chip in here and there to hold
Hold
it
it together,
This winter's big as mild as it has been, we might be okay with just, again, we're gonna put that money in patching it. You know, and we're gonna have to do a lot of repair to it again. We're putting, you know, between tar and chip and patch, we're putting at least $10,000 a year into it, if not more.
But I mean, to go after it this year with a conventional loan, we're probably looking at least twice that interest rate, or more.
Right.
So.
Yeah, probably somewhere around 4 to 5%. Yeah, so the interest rate's good, and the terms are flexible, you can go up to 10 years. Like I said, I'm gonna throw some numbers and see. When we went over it, again, we rode that twice together, Darren and I said, I wish I could tell you there's a bad spot and a good spot, but it's all bad, you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's kind of like, pick and choose what to fix when it all needs fixed.
Yeah.
Maybe bite the bullet and figure it out how we're gonna get it done.
I think, do some more, don't say we're gonna do it this summer, but
Oh, it's not gonna happen this summer. It's-
my biggest thing, amount of logging that's going on up there, the traffic, I
You
mean,
better let it go for now, yeah.
there's umpteen trucks going through there. I mean, you can't stop somebody from logging, but, if we know, because they
You
set
know what's
up in
going on.
the
yeah,
Wayne
that's what
Farm,
it
there's
is.
350 acres they're doing up there, so how long is it gonna take them to cut all that and haul it out? I mean,
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're very active right now out there, but then like I
Yeah.
told you before, somebody's always logging on that
Right,
mountain
but
somewhere,
there's-
but.
There was that, 5 jobs going on at once up there
Mhm.
with a couple months ago.
Yeah,
so.
it was 6 to 8 months, right, that lead time, or 6 to 9 months, what did he say?
6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months, so I mean, even if we started this summer, we're looking at next summer.
Next
Before
summer,
we have a
right.
loan complete, to be ready to go, but we need to start the process now in order to be ready to
We even
go.
mentioned too, where, say if we can't get anything done this year, the money we can put in towards it for this year and the next year. too.
Right, yeah, we had 50,000 set aside just in the general fund this year, I believe, in the budget for paving,
Mhm.
which we were thinking of taking that plus a loan, we do a portion of Gardner Hill, but like I said, now we're looking at the complete.
And that needs done, it definitely needs done.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna move on to this fire loss ordinance. Rick, what can you?
Okay. A week ago, I was talking to Greg Auguste, he's a state fire marshal for Elk County, Clearfield. And he had a class up the fire, and actually we were talking, about the Kennedy Street structure that burnt. He said, you have an ordinance down in Jay Township. I said, as far as I know, which I come down and ask Debbie about it. What it is, just using the Smith residence on Kennedy. Okay, they had insurance, they were paid. And what it is, he gave me a figure, he thought it was like $10,000. So the insurance company pays the owner for their damage.
That was 10,000 to clean it up.
Yeah, and now I don't know if each municipality adopts a certain figure or not, we have to do research on that. But what it is, they put it in escrow. John Doe don't clean up his mess, the township will clean it up, the insurance company will pay the municipality $10,000 or whatever the figure
Whatever the
is.
bill is,
Yeah.
red there, yeah.
So,
Houston already has that, Rick, so if you
do
need
they? I know Fox, I'm assuming has it, because, Greg lives in Fox Township,
In
and,
fact, the insurance company sends the township a check.
so I think that's something we should definitely do. I mean, hopefully, I don't want to see anybody get burned out, but, get rid of the eyesore and, the death trap. I mean, I'm surprised nobody got hurt up there with kids running around or anything like that.
Still, I mean, there's no doors on that place or anything.
No, I mean, it's,
That one was, I guess, how we're talking about it, from talking to Rick Brown, he said, if she doesn't do anything there, that might be one the township may want to consider knocking down and putting a municipal lien on the property, because it's a safety issue.
yeah.
So, we're waiting to see how that pans out, but that is something to keep in the back of your mind too, that that's a recommendation from him.
Certainly before
If she, yeah.
nice weather, hopefully.
When this warm weather comes, if she's,
So I know after we had the call there, they said after insurance, everything was taken care of, they said within like 2 weeks they were cleaning up, and never happened. I mean,
right. Well, I think, what do you want to do with that fire loss ordinance? You want to send it out? Well, we could ask Houston and Fox for a copy of what they have. We can talk to the solicitor, whatever you guys think we should.
I mean, it sounds like a good idea.
We wouldn't be in the position with that one home if we had it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I think we should
Let's
pursue the issue.
Yeah, let's continue to look at it, maybe we can get a vote on it here in next month, or hopefully by the following month.
Do you want the attorney, the solicitor to look at it, or do you want to just get a couple copies from the other townships to start looking, see what they all look like? That's the only, you had the same question I did, which was, it says, in the copy we have, which came from PSATs, this came from the PSATs website, it says $7,500. And he said, yeah, it's 1994 or something like that, I don't know if that's a number.
We're
Looking for
It's a
10,000.
standard out there, and they
Maybe
adjusted
it
through the
might be
years.
more than that now. I'd have the attorney maybe.
Yeah, we could ask him.
You wanna have them look at it, we'll do that.
Yeah, we could send it to Rick and have him look into it.
All right. All right, we have 2 minor subdivisions then. All right.
First one.
Yeah, I see it. It's subdivision between Don Faust and Vanessa Murders.
Is that Gordon Hill?
Yeah, that one's been, already been to the county too.
Yeah, the
So
county signed it. I'm on it.
It's just
Okay.
switching land over.
Just needs our approval.
Mhm.
Okay. And the last one, second
Let's
one.
do one at a time.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Have they both been with the county then?
Yeah, you all sign up already?
I'll make a motion to approve the minor subdivision for, what was it? Faust and Murray.
Murders, I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
And the second one is property owned by Ellen Lucchini. And she will subdivide this.
She's on his to Jason.
Off to Jason, this side. Okay. Again, nothing on the property, we're gonna look at additional sewage or anything.
No.
No.
It's basically just for the- yeah, so,
Make a motion to approve Lucchini to Lucchini.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
yeah.
Assessment, we have one assessment permit for Jay Fox on 23 Apple Street. He's putting a 12 by 16 shed on his property. Again, there'll be no wastewater service or no water service to the structure, it's simply a shed.
Is that the one right in the corner?
Mhm.
Yeah. Should be right in the back of the equipment.
Who is that?
Jay Fox? I don't
Jay
know.
Fox, first
They're-
house
they're the-
coming up Apple Street on the left, old carpet house, I believe.
They
Or
partnered.
Leroy doesn't own that anymore?
No.
No, I think he's sold that,
Yeah,
Christine.
I saw it, too.
I believe he sold it.
So here it looks like it's gonna be up against Pat Cortland's house, or Melanie house.
Yeah.
Water lines that go through there.
According to here, it's showing the water lines are on the bank side on his drawing. It's only showing on the left side of the structure.
Comes in that lower yard.
That's according to
Yeah.
his drawing
Right.
there. This has to be Pat's where Melanie lives here.
Did the water authority look at that and make sure it's in the right place?
The water lines come in the lower yard between the bank and the
Well, you
building.
said that's what he said. The
Well, that's
property
what
owner.
his
That's what the
diagram
drawing shows.
drawing shows. It's on the lower side towards the bank.
Those assessment commits, they all used to go to the water authority and sewer authority for them to sign off on.
Well, they did, Bob, but I mean for a shed,
Did they sign it off?
Is it a permanent or a movable?
it's
It's a little-
it's a movable, it's a 12 by 16 shed, one of them you get in the back of a truck.
Oh, it has skids on it?
Mhm.
Yeah,
You're not gonna dig holes for posts or anything?
I wouldn't,
They just set those in there on gravel.
they usually they just pour 2 or 3 tons of gravel and set them. All right, I'm gonna make a motion, we pass the assessment permit for Jay Fox.
A second.
All in favor? No, if it was gonna be a more permanent thing, I think we didn't look further into it.
How about under old business? We forgot the update on the Joe Anderson water
Okay.
problem. Back in November, you were gonna talk to PennDOT about maybe a larger pipe or something. Where are you at on that?
I know Paul Welder, I talked to him, and he said something about, he talked to a fellow from PennDOT, and they're not really in favor of a bigger pipe. I mean, I think it simply comes down to how many people push it. Paul requested a bigger pipe because he gets it London every time. But, they more or less told him that they're not gonna put a bigger pipe in there.
Well, I know the Andersons came to several meetings. Have you responded back to the Andersons to let them know what you're going to do or not do on it?
I don't think we talked back to the Andersons, but I did meet with PennDOT, and they don't seem like they want to put a pipe under that road.
It's a real fight to get a bigger pipe under the PennDOT.
To get a pipe under the road at all on that highway is,
I just think that you should get back to the Andersons, because I know they came to several meetings about the problem. I
So I
think
can
you
remember
should get back to them.
the pipe down there between Jeff Coyote's garage and his father, Lawrence. When I was younger, it used to be a 15 inch, and that was a problem similar to this. And they pushed and pushed for years on that until they finally, PennDOT finally caved in and put a 24 inch. But it certainly didn't happen overnight. I guess another one of the things we're gonna keep our eye on, see where it's going.
go ahead.
Prior, because this was brought up, Ben brought this up on the reclamation through the area
About the
too,
water coming off.
about the water. So up till how many years ago was that problem? Was it after they redid?
He's saying after they reclaimed
That's
up
when they
in,
got more water?
when they did the reclaim behind the White Horse, which was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago roughly.
Oh, it's been, yeah, probably long ago.
They had water trouble before that, back, you know, that.
How long has it been since that was reclaimed?
It had nothing to do with the reclamation, it has with Terry Blasey put the pipes in there.
Right.
That's when it started.
So this been years?
Never happened, the whole time Dave Coon lived over there, you can ask him, until Terry put the pipes in. That was,
That's when the problem started.
yeah,
Yeah, because he put, what, a 15 inch down across there, and that, what's the one under the road there? It's at least a 24.
a 36 under the
Under
road.
the Township Road, I know it's,
It's on Hickory,
Yeah,
that's a 36.
I mean, you're caught between a rock and a hard place.
So
well, you're not caught between a rock and a hard place, take the pipe out of there, you won't have any
So I gotta
trouble.
go up and tell Terry Gabozzi to tear up his paved driveway,
Not his paved driveway, Victor, you know better than that.
Township Road. It's in
No,
Township right away.
No. The pipes that are in the ditch, he put 120 feet or whatever in there,
Extra in front of his yard.
extra in front of his yard. There's no way for it to breathe.
We took a section of that out last year.
One section.
One.
One section.
The only time,
You got to shoot it, if you shot it with a transit, you'd see, needed to take 60 feet out of there, and your problem's eliminated.
So you're saying if you took 3 more joints out of there, that 15.
You probably only take 2 more.
That
Take a
15
transit over there, Victor, and shoot it. Jeremy was here when all them numbers were done, Karen.
I know the grades there, but I'm talking about the volume. Whether you take 1 joint out or 3 additional joints out, it's still a 15 inch pipe.
But it went over the top and never affected any property.
Oh, it went over the driveway in high water, all right.
Okay, but it didn't affect any,
I see what you're saying there.
you know, so. And the ditch, if you remember, you've been on that road all your life.
Yeah.
It was deep.
Oh, yeah.
They filled it in, so it was,
My dilemma is it's still one of these deals, you're making one resident happy and you're pissing another one off.
yeah, but your right of way over there is 33 feet, and it's not a right of way, it belongs to the township.
Right.
So who are you pissing off?
But as elected officials, I mean, these people came to the meeting several times with the problem, and I think since you haven't gotten back to them with anything, they probably think you're not doing nothing. So I think as elected officials, you owe them a response. Let them know what you're doing or not doing to help them.
I agree, but I mean, ultimately, my thought on the entire situation was, you gotta start at the bottom. And the bottom to me is the PennDOT road. Because, I mean, I know Joe Anderson gets it, but he doesn't get a glimmer of what Paul Welder gets.
But yeah, Paul Weller didn't get any of that, Victor, until that pipes were put in. When that water went all the way down, went down behind, between Jim Patrick's and Bettis, you know where it went.
It goes in that same 36 inch that you're telling me is under the township road. And that all dumps down behind Paul's house.
Yeah, it always did.
That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
how big was the ditch behind Paul's house years ago, Victor?
I don't know how big it was years ago, Keith. I know he's been getting flooded the whole time he lived there.
He was getting flooded prior to putting a pipe in?
Oh, yeah, that was down right in his backyard.
Paul always got flooded.
He always did.
Always.
The whole thing
It all runs through him.
runs down past his
So
house.
what I'm saying, you got a number of them getting flooded, not just Joe Anderson. And to remedy it, the first step would be to get a bigger pipe under that township or under the state highway, and then you could begin to deal with it from there on upstream. You can't start at the top and work down, you're just gonna hammer the guy at the bottom even worse.
Well, maybe you need to talk to PennDOT.
And you should write some letters and get something on file and send them to the representatives, and somebody's got to get the ball moving, or else we'll sit here.
We had PennDOT,
Because I remember in the past where
pipe
the
under
Andersons
road.
were
They're
here.
the ones that had to put the overflow pipe in across Romanix, which took the full 15 inches of water the last time around, but that, you know, but the only time it's flooded since we've done that and removed a piece of the pipe up at Kavazis is when we got that last big flood.
14.
No,
September
yeah,
last, 15.
right.
Okay.
That's the only time it's flooded over.
Where's
since then.
the
And-
pipe
and when-
between Welder and Romanic's house? Is that where it crosses?
It's an open ditch and
Where does it go under 255 at?
down just below the Legion.
One right in front of
Corner of the
Romanix
Legion's
house.
yeah.
parking lot, the lower corner of the Legion's parking lot.
Towards the trailer.
There are two there, Rick. There's one right in front of Romanix, and there's one just down on the other side of the Legion Park.
The main one's the one below.
But the ditch comes out right in the middle of the two, and dead ends to nowhere. I mean, actually, it doesn't dead end, a smaller pipe goes underneath Welder's property behind his house to the
And
lower
then it
pipe.
goes the whole way diagonally across the corner of George Liptak's old property.
Would have to take him.
But that used to be open, Victor, you know that.
What's that?
That's behind Welder's house. That used to be an open ditch all the way down through there.
Part of it still is open.
Yeah, it's open
Very
all the
little
way down to just to his house there, and then there's an old cement pipe in there.
Yeah, but that was always open. For years and years and years, that was open. That was an open ditch all the way to the state highway.
Even when he built his house, or he
behind
closed
it.
it in when he built his
When he
house.
put the driveway in, he filled it in.
I don't ever remember it being open in George Liptak's yard.
On Paul Welder's,
It was
it
on Paul Weller's side.
was on Paul Welder's side, it was open. When
When
he
Paul
filled,
put that road to go back.
he filled that all in.
He filled that in. He filled it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Filled
so,
that
I mean, it was
picture.
always piped, it doesn't run 90 degrees to the highway. It runs diagonally across Liptak, George's yard. Because there's 24 or 30 inch clay tile in there.
I know, but where he filled that in behind his house, that has nothing to do with the Anderson problem. The question on the table is actually the Anderson problem, which has nothing to do with Paul Welder creating his own problem.
No, I suppose, I mean, different way you can look at it. You got- Any way you look at
Water
it.
doesn't go back up the hill, Victor, it's coming down.
No, I know that, Chief.
What was the reasoning why Kavasi put the pipe in?
Didn't want
Just
to
that
ditch
he
in
wanted to
front
mow
of
the
his
grass
house.
along the road.
He didn't want a ditch in
In front of
front.
his house.
Yeah,
But the
And he got
township
it.
has the right of way.
Well, he
It's
got
a
it,
township
he got
property.
it approved at the township at the time that he did it. It's
Got
on
it
file.
approved.
It was approved from the township to put the pipe in.
So now to get it out of there, we gotta renege on his approval.
Well, it's caused a problem, so I think you have a right
Oh,
to
we
change your
probably do.
answer.
We're gonna continue to look at it. If there's nothing else, we're gonna adjourn at this
or
time.
else put bigger pipe in.
Put a 24 inch
In front of us,
lodges.
every 10 days, you gotta put a 24 under the driveway. Don't do
I think the driveway is an 18, Victor.
I don't know about that.
Let's look into that.
We'll check it out.
Because it's a steel, it's a piece of steel on the driveway.
I know it's 15 over there by that fire hydrant. You know,
That's all plastic. Everything he put in was plastic, the driveway was steel.
Okay, we'll look into it. If it's 18, maybe then that's what we'll do. I'll put an 18 the whole way. Although I don't know if that would handle know,
Yeah,
from
that's the
15
only,
to
the only time it
18.
actually comes over the road now and floods Anderson is when we get one of those really big rain events, when everybody else is flooding as well.
So maybe
So, I
going
mean,
from
the
15 to
idea-
18 would solve the problem.
Well, it's happening getting as much water. And if you put some air in it,
It'd go quicker, okay. I make a motion to adjourn.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.